Welcome to the Dark Moon Cards and Games Deck Showcase, where we pass on a little wisdom from our years of both competitive play and event organizing to help you learn how to play the Pokemon trading card game, and then start down the road to becoming competitive. Where you go from there is a choice that is up to you.
Hey guys, this is Hee-Haw with Dark Moon Cards and Games. Today we have our follow-up video to our series on building with the Trainer's Toolkit. Give you a look at what we did with the Colossal Toolbox deck, Sandaconda V, and several other attackers in it. Today we're going to show you what we did with this Copperajah V from the boxes that we just reviewed. So let's get this thing open here. Get it where you can see everything. We did have to, didn't have to, but I did anyway. Went outside of the Trainer's Toolkit just a little bit, just to try to make this deck as competitive as we could. But that was just adding a trainer card or two. The cards in particular that we added were the Energy Search, which is not included in the kit, and the Pokemon Catcher was not included either. I'm surprised it was not, because it's a pretty cheap card anyway. Been easy to throw in. Let's see, Malolana, I believe everything else here was in the kit, outside of the Pokemon, of course. Of course, we went with the 2 Dedenne. That's just for consistency's sake. Went with 3 of the Copperajah V from the Copperajah V box we just reviewed. Again, not great by himself, but as I said before, when he becomes the VMAX, this thing becomes a beast. Look at the VMAX, 340 HP, 240 damage for 4 energy is a little heavy, but not really with all the energy acceleration in this deck, and that's really where those energy switches come into play. I'll talk about that here in just a second. 2 Duraludon. I think if you watched any of our theme deck, sort of starting with the theme deck and then expanding it into the Zacian V deck, you saw what he did. But again, he's just like the old baby Yveltal, 30 damage, and he attaches a Steel Energy from your discard pile to a Pokemon, so he can make that 240, 270 over 2 turns, which takes out a lot of the tag teams. Take out a lot of smaller Pokemon too. Not too many 30 HP guys in play, but again, his other attack, 110 damage, is not to be ignored. You can use it to kill Jirachis or anything else small, or to finish off a second shot on something else. They included the 1 Zacian V. Again, we have the Sword and Shield version of it. Again, the promo one is cheaper to get, but either way, neither one is very expensive at the moment. But the Intrepid Sword ability is really kind of what keeps this deck rolling, and can actually make it set up pretty quickly. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if there's any steel there, you attach it to him, and that's really what you're hoping to do with the Intrepid Sword in this, although it can help you get out of a bad hand, because whatever else you get there, you just get to keep, and then it ends your turn. But if you hit 1 or 2 energies with that, and get these guys in your hand, which you can dig and get these guys pretty easy, then you can move multiple energies from him to a Copperajah, and combine that with Metal Saucer, and just attachments from your hand. We really try to get this Copperajah VMAX attacking on the 2nd turn. And again, I don't think we looked so much at that. The Dangerous Nose attack, 100 damage, but if the defending Pokemon is a basic, it's 200 damage. So if you get 200 damage on your 2nd turn, you're in good shape. And the other part of that, that's why we included the Catcher. Of course, the boss's orders were in the Trainer's Toolkit. You definitely want those guys. Play 2 Catchers as well, because if you can get that 2nd turn attack, you want to just start catching and being very aggressive and attacking whatever you can with either one of those if you can get them. Of course, there's a coin flip involved on Catcher, but at least in the trading card game online anyway, we seem to hit that fairly often. I hate to rely on that coin flip when I'm playing, because coins hate me, but at any rate, that is that's the gist of the deck. We have the Malolana. I don't think we included that in the Sandaconda V Colossal box because none of those guys really are capable of taking very many hits of this format. Malolana, though, with his 340 HP Copperajah VMAX, being able to heal 120 off that guy just extends him that much further. I mean, basically making him, what, 460 HP if you get that healing that somebody has to do, and then you throw Big Charm on top of it and get another 30. So it just keeps adding up. And I have to double check. I think Big Charm was not included in the trainer's kit either. It might be the other card we added, but just could not leave that out of there. I have to go back and double check that. But Big Charm makes him 370, and then like I said, if you start healing off 120 just one time with Malolana, that's crazy. Of course, he is weak to fire. So if you get up against Blacephalon still in this kind of dead format that's going on right now until August, or post-August, I guess Reshiram Charizard. I think there's a Centiskorch VMAX that's going to be pretty brutal as well. That weakness is a hindrance. It doesn't matter how much you can tank. If you get hit for basically 200 damage from a fire Pokemon, he's going down. But at the moment anyway, like I said, we want to keep this in that post August standard format, so we didn't include Metal Frying Pan, which gets rid of weakness, or any of the other things that I don't really consider relevant at this point, because those cards are going to be gone by the time we're ever actually able to sit down and play a game with another real person, which I hope is sooner than later, but we'll have to see. So we got a series of games coming up. Let's play. I think we're going to be playing Logan in all of these. So let's get a couple games in and just see how she works.
Okay, if you remember a moment ago how I said how Duraludon doesn't really do any significant damage, that all goes out the window when you play Distilled Blast Gyarados. We tried 2 games with this, and there's a little montage of some just pure fish abuse. Sorry about that, Magikarp, but was able, with all the catching options, was just able to continually catch Magikarp and kill them with Duraludon and Zacian. I think eventually with a Copperajah VMAX, Gyarados can max out hitting you for 240, which was pretty cool at the time. It was a fun kind of rogue deck, but it's just not enough against this kind of 340 HP VMAX format that's out there. So we played 2 games here. Like I said, I think he got some damage, a couple knockouts with the Gyarados. Really inconsistent deck, hard to really keep it set up. And again, it was just so a little too easy to catch and kill, so we didn't want to burn too much time with these matches. Just thought it'd be kind of fun to throw up there for a little summary of those 2 games. I think that was finally the last dead Magikarp, so the fish market is now open. So come on and get your Magikarp sushi. Alright, on to our first, I guess, real match, since those didn't work out too well. Trying another one prizer. This one is a deck of Logan's featuring Vikavolt. It's the one with the stealthy body that gives you no weakness if there's a stadium, and it works with that Charge-a-Bug that becomes basically a double lightning energy. Also has the Electric Cannon power, does 120 plus 100 damage if you discard the energy. Then Electric Powers take you to 250, 280, 310, maxing out at 340 if you use all of them, which will actually kill a Copperajah VMAX, but not with a Big Charm. So again, kind of shows the dichotomy between those two, where the format's gone, I guess, between the old Stage 2s and these big guys. But it's a very fun deck, like the Gyarados deck. Back in the time of the 180 HP GX and EXs, it could have been a very competitive deck, but with no Shrine, no Choice Band, again, just the power creep of everything, it's really hard for it to keep up. But back to the matter at hand, so I went first. One of the few decks that I think it's really still an advantage to go first with. Even though you can't play supporters, you just want to get an energy down on your Copperajah and use your Dedenays to kind of get through the deck, and you're really trying to get a Zacian V out and get some extra energy in play so that you can energy switch to it. Because again, Copperajah V doesn't really do anything so much by itself. You're really going after the VMAX and even his just his first attack. And kind of going to script there. If we hit the energies off of this Intrepid Sword, we'll be in 2 of them. That's excellent. That actually gives us 2 choices here. If we don't get to, well, I was going to say if we don't get to the VMAX, we can always switch to the Zacian. That we got the VMAX off of Intrepid Sword. So, not the perfect turn, but pretty close to it for the way this deck plays anyway. Apricorn Maker, don't see that too often. Lets you search out a couple different Pokeballs. You got a pair of Quick Balls, which again, this Vikavolt deck, you've got to get your Grubbins down, and I guess again, you're not really going for anything on the first turn here either, and just getting multiple guys in play so that you can rare candy to Vikavolt, which you really need to do in this deck, because you want the Charge-a-Bug to be a energy card for you and not part of your evolution chain. Jirachi off of another Quick Ball helps you get some of those missing pieces. Pretty good first turn off of that one for Logan. Again, we'll go ahead and evolve to Copperajah VMAX. And again, have everything that we really need in hand. Got the energy switch, move one of these guys up off of Zacian. And we'll be able to attach. We can do 200 off of our first attack and take out that Tapu Koko. We'll play our Pokegear. Get Professor's Research. Again, I don't know if you could script this deck too much better than this. It'd be nice to get some energy into the discard pile is really the only thing we're missing. There's our big charm to drive us to 370 HP. And Dangerous Nose for 200. Again, if you can get a Copperajah VMAX going this quickly, and then start utilizing your catchers and your boss's orders, unless you're playing Reshiram Charizard GX or something else fire, you're really ahead of the game. And you just kind of keep constant pressure on them, and they have to figure out how to take out this beast of a Pokemon. Marnie kind of wiped out my hand. Duraludon doesn't really so much play a role in this. He doesn't do enough damage to take out a Grubbin or anything. And we don't need the chip damage because Copperajah V Max does so much damage that we'll be able to take out everything on his field. So we're going and get Duraludon down. Let's Quick Ball away this other. See if we can get started on our second Copperajah V. Get Spinner in hand. I think we want to just get an energy out and then toss it so we can finally get some in the discard piles. That's really the only thing we haven't accomplished so far. Yeah, still no energy there, so we'll toss this guy. A couple saucers, but didn't get any to attach. We still got another switch, energy switch. Big charm down on that Copperajah V. I don't guess we really accomplished anything there on the energy because we didn't get one to attach for turn. But we'll thin the deck, go ahead and get rid of that saucer. And take out Jirachi, so 2 pretty quick prizes. And again, don't see any way really possible with Big Charm unless you play Scrapper where you can take out one of these VMAXs in one turn. And it'd have to be a just perfect turn to be able to do that. So we should be able to let him bounce off of us at least once if he gets set up this turn. As you can see, we have Mallow and Lana in hand, so we can heal whatever he does. We can heal 120 damage of that off. Still looking for pieces, it looks like. Grubbin, I think it lets you search 2 electric Pokemon, put them in your hand. It's a shame we don't have a Marnie right there. I guess first thing is probably want to go ahead and evolve to this VMAX. Not so much really anything else we need to do. A dangerous nose again. Take our third prize really before Logan really gets anything stirring there. get one more prize before he gets going, then I think we'll be far enough ahead that it really won't matter so much what he does, even if he can one-shot one of my guys. Here finally comes a Vikavolt. Again, gonna need some electric powers to make a big dent here. There's the Thunder Mountain Stadium, which will let him attack for one less, and there goes my hand. At this point, I don't think anything is, as long as I have energy to attach, I don't think I really have a bad hand at this point. I've got both VMAXs in play, and that's all I want for the game. If one of those becomes endangered, we'll just switch to Zacian V. Ooh, there's a Tapu Koko V. That makes things, wow, 250 off that Vikavolt, which is crazy. Again, that would be good in any format up to this point, but there is Boss's Order, which is perfect timing on that. Because that Tapu Koko V does not have... A lot of electric Pokemon have resistance to Steel, and Tapu Koko V does not. So I think we want to target him. We don't need to attach any extra energy. Because he's a basic, we'll be able to do 200 exactly and take him out. Let's play that boss and grab that boss. Don't really want to play that Pokegear yet, because of the way we can just draw another card next turn, and then I have one card less to sort through on Pokegear. So Dangerous Nose carrying the water right now. Taking 2 and kind of puts us in a spot where there's not much that can go wrong here. At 250, I'm definitely in range of this Vikavolt, which will give him a 3 prize card boost. As long as we don't get reset stamped or Marnied or something, and can keep that energy. We can probably just, what would be perfect would be just to attach and then try to get another Boss's Order or a catcher and just catch that Jirachi and kill it with Dangerous Nose again. There goes the Charge-a-Bug energy attachment. And 120 takes us exactly to 340 and knocks us out for 3. Yeah, the Vikavolt deck it's a fun deck, and it's impressive really for a little to no energy attacking deck. It's just a shame that the power creep has gotten so huge that it's been kind of rendered not irrelevant, but not very relevant, I guess. I'm just going to play this Evolution Incense and go and grab him out. So again, it gives us a little better chance to hit something on these Pokegears if we have to use them both, and we will not. There is that second Boss's Orders, and that's all we need. We'll play that, grab that Jirachi, and do a unfriendly amount of damage to poor little Jirachi. For 200, again, for showcasing this deck, that's about as good as it gets. That deck really worked to script. And so we're going to do one more game. I told Logan just to grab something else fun. I think he's going to grab another tag team deck, so we'll have another big guy against big guy matchup. We're not interested in showing you Pikarom against ADP or Reshiram Charizard against Baby Blacephalon, because I'm not interested in watching any more of those matches play out. I've seen enough of those, so see if we can show you something a little different here. I think he grabbed the Rowlet Alolan Exeggutor deck, which is kind of an interesting choice, because Steel guys in this Sword and Shield format have gotten resistance to grass, and I think it's like 30 damage resistance, which makes underpowered attackers like Rowlet and Alolan Exeggutor even more underpowered. But again, I think this is kind of optimal for both of us. I like to go first with this deck, and I know that Rowlet deck wants to go second, so it can use Super Growth on its first turn. We'll go ahead and try to get this Copperajah ready, and I guess I'll see if we can catch this Shaman Prism Star and trap it, except I'm just now seeing that it's free retreat, so that was a waste, but oh well. I'll probably have to throw that catcher away anyway. I guess it'd been nice to just hold that in case there was a small target we could catch next turn, but that is part of playing the game, is you make mistakes and keep on battling through them. Sometimes they cost you matches, sometimes they don't. There's a Grookey and a big charm on his Rowlet Egg tag team. See if he can gear for research. So having a pretty good start there on his side as well. Not sure what else is in the deck. If it has to rely on Calming Hurricane from Rowlet, he's going to have to 3-shot me at least. That's not going to play out well. And I think this is the version that he built that has the Celebi Venusaur in it. I know he is fond of that from placing in top 64 with it at one of the expanded regionals, and I know Georgia's even messed around with the same deck he was playing, won some cups with it last year. So I think that's in here as well. It's an interesting addition. There's a communication to put that Rillaboom back in, and there's the Celebi Venusaur. Get that Rillaboom back in so you'll be able to super growth all the way back to it. You can't do that if it's in your hand. I don't know what the line of Rillaboom is in this, and again, we might try to post the list in the comments or description as well. I don't know if it's a 2-2 or a 3-3 line. There's the super growth to a Rillaboom, and maybe able to get a second Rillaboom on the next turn. We'll see. I'm going to evolve to my my VMAX. We'll quick ball away this Incense and get Zacian. And I think we can afford to take a couple extra turns to get set up here, just because of the... I think it's going to take him a couple turns to get going as well. Got Marnie off our Pokegear. Go ahead and do that. That's probably not going to really hurt him. He didn't have a big hand. We'll charm our VMAX and attach. And just Intrepid Sword. I love hitting these 2 energy Intrepid Swords. Pretty fortunate on that for these videos. I don't know if it works out like that often. I haven't played this deck, but only probably about 10 games or so. But I'm definitely surprised at how often that hits. Attaching to Celebi Venusaur, and I guess going to use Rillaboom to go 2 more to it. That Pollen Hazard attack is it's pretty gross. It only does 50, which I think will only be 20 with my resistance. But it burns, confuses, and poisons you? Yeah. I don't think he has... Well, he can't catch me because he just played Malolana. Didn't hurt to use Malolana that way just to switch, because I think he has Cynthia Caitlyn in there so you can get it back. I think this thing uses Tag Call and has multiple tag team supporters and Pokemon, so... I guess the drawback to using Pollen Hazard Celebi Venusaur is that pretty standard right now. Everybody plays a lot of switching cards in, so it's not super likely you're going to lock somebody in with a Confusion and Burn and Poison. You can see I flipped out of the Burn between turns. We'll just go ahead and switch. Charm our other Copperajah. I kind of thought we were going to play a slower game here, but it kind of sped up for us. We've got GMAX Hammer ready, so might as well go ahead and lay 240 on this guy. Gets us 30 away from the knockout. Or excuse me, 40. He's 280. Hard to see these things upside down. There's Marnie. I didn't have anything there, I guess, that was crucial. See if he can get that second Rillaboom maybe this turn. know if you actually play Rare Candy. I haven't looked at these lists. I haven't played with Rowlet that much. If you actually play the candies, or if you just count on Rowlet to get you to your Rillabooms. Using Rillaboom again to go to Celebi Venusaur, which I forgot about that dude. He's got that Evergreen GX attack. I think it does like 180, but it heals him completely and puts everything in this discard pile back into the deck. I forgot. I haven't really looked at that guy for a while. I forgot how good that is. So he just erased my turn. 150. Not within, again, I think, like I was saying earlier, I think it's almost going to have to try to 3-shot me. If I can get Alolan in this thing at some point, I don't see any way this deck can keep up. But still, Celebi Venusaur is kind of gross. That's you can work out, I forget what supporter that is that lets you reuse your GX move. That might just be for water Pokemon on that, I can't remember what card that is, Misty and somebody. Misty and Lorelei or something. Anyway, well, quick ball, get another Duraludon down. I don't know if we'll try to charge one of those up. So we've got our two, pretty much standard 2 VMAX in play setup. We got Sassy in there. Haven't had to use a Dedenne yet, and don't see a huge need to unless we get Stamped or Malolana, or not Malolana, Marnied into a small hand. So we'll put our 240 back again. I think that was Rillaboom to the Venusaur Snivy. Just kinda, the GX play for him is out of play. I think it does like spread damage. I think his main attack force dump I think it does 160. There's a great potion, not really going to change anything on the Celebi Venusaur. So going for the Pollen Hazard and see if he can lock me with conditions, but again, as I was saying, a lot of switching cards in this format, and you can see I have 3 of them in my hand, so I guess in a certain time, certain place in the format where you weren't playing so many of those types of cards, the Pollen Hazard could be pretty brutal, but I haven't seen very many lists that don't play a lot of switching options. Not as good as it once was. We'll use this Malolana. I've missed using it in several games here today. Almost don't want to toss that switch, but I guess we'll toss one of them and an energy, get it in there, and finish this Celebi Venusaur off this turn. I think we don't have to worry about those conditions again. Of course, our air balloon will let us retreat for free with Zacian, right back to our damaged Copperajah, now only sporting 80 damage, and hitting with GMAX Hammer for 240 again, and take 3. Just that one Malolana, I think, pretty much swings this matchup so far in our direction. I can't see how. Again, unless I know there's a lot of healing options for grass Pokemon, but I don't know. You know, there's no obviously no Shaman in this. I think that Lost Thunder Shaman that has the ability to heal. I haven't seen the oh shoot, the Prism Star Stadium that heals. I can't think of its name. I don't know if it's not in his deck or maybe it's trapped in his prizes. Second Rillaboom, which again, you go back to our Sandaconda Colossal Box deck, you can see how scary double Rillaboom is in any deck. I think in terms of tanks versus tanks, I think we are a Sherman tank against Abrams here. I think mine is just going to be a little too heavy-handed for this thing to keep up with. That Shaman can deal out a lot of damage too. He does 30 for every grass in play. kind of nice to take that Shaman out, but we can finish the game if we can just kill this Venusaur Snavy. So he hits us Force Dump 160, which is in effect 130, taking us to 210. I think we're still out of range. Do 130. Yeah, he can't get us unless he can knock that tool off. Tool Scrapper the Big Charm, and we'll go to 340. But we'll switch to our fresh one. I think the thing here, I've got boss's orders. It's nice to take out a Rillaboom, but I think it's just we're better off all that energy on Venusaur Snavy just to target it. Unless there's another healing trick in the bag here that I don't know of. We can hold on to that boss's orders and just try to finish Venusaur Snavy, but it looks like he's going to get shuffled away. There is Marnie ruining my plans. Got the Dene back, so kind of smart to maybe not overplay that. Okay, the attachment on Shining Vine, I think it's the ability lets you catch someone. That's why he attached the 5th energy. Don't know if he was digging for the Tool Scrapper. I still got my Big Charm on, which will keep me alive. And there goes a reset stamp to... I don't know if that's better. Got a chance to maybe grab boss's orders or something if I need to, but I don't think I'm going to need to, because he's kind of all in with this Venusaur Snavy. If he knocks me out, then I've just got him on the next turn. There's 130, 2, 3, 40, which would be the knockout, but the tool saves me. That's all we need to do. VMAX Hammer again for 240, and take our second tag team out for the other 3 prizes. Pretty straightforward. The Rillaboom deck's a lot of fun. Again, don't know that it has a huge place in the format. We'll see what comes out. If there's anything Wheat the Grass in this Darkness Ablaze set, it might pop back up of interest. So there's a thorough look at Copperajah VMAX. I think I gave you a pretty good sampling of everything it can do. It's not overcomplicated, but it's consistent, and it's about as tanky as they come. I enjoy playing it, especially when they make cards out of characters that I like. It makes playing those decks more fun for me, and I hope you guys find the same kind of enjoyment in the card game. I hope you like these matches. I apologize to all you Magikarp fans out there for the brutality against that derpy little fish. But nature isn't kind, and sometimes you just have to let it run its course. And this has been Hee-Haw for Dark Moon Cards and Games. Be not afraid. Later.